Hello and welcome to the weekly Global Heartstream. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez, a professional coach, artist, and speaker who enjoys traveling the world, connecting with amazing people, and talking about the longest, most rewarding journey that you'll ever embark on, the 12-inch journey between your head and your heart. Through individual and group coaching programs, online courses, and live seminars, I teach a heart-centered approach to personal mastery, leadership development, and spiritual growth that helps people become the most loving, joyful, and powerful version of themselves. The Global Heartstream is a weekly dedicated space to help you reconnect with your heart, raise your vibrational frequency, and remind you just how powerful, loving, and amazing you already are. It's also an invitation to unify our hearts with the intention of bringing more love, compassion, and healing to a world that so desperately needs it. You can find out more about my work by visiting GabrielGonzalez.com, where you can also sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, and register for my upcoming seminars. And if you enjoyed this Heartstream, please be sure to subscribe, like, or comment so that we can reach more people and help make this a more loving, compassionate, and heart-centered world. Hello and welcome to the weekly Heartstream. I'm your host, Gabriel Gonzalez, broadcasting live now once again from the beautiful city of Granada in the south of Spain. After having been away for about, 11 days, 10 days on a beautiful, beautiful road trip and pilgrimage to Fatima. If you were not with us last week, you may want to just catch the replay. I was telling a little bit of the story of Fatima. As last month, we focus on the divine feminine, and how could we not talk about Fatima when we're speaking about the divine feminine? Today, we are initiating a new month, and with a new month, also a new topic. And the key topic that we're going to be exploring during this entire month of June is going to be on integrity. Integrity. And today's conversation is about integrity as the very first level of empowerment. What does that mean? How do you apply it? What does integrity have to do with you? Are we talking about morals? Are we talking about truth? What exactly do you mean? Well, we're going to be talking about more about this in just a few moments. In the meantime, I want to welcome everyone who's here with us today. Hello, Yair. Hello, Danny from Romania. Hello, Mary Rinaldi, who's also here in Granada. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Cindy's Heart. Blessings to everyone. Mariette Visser, all the way in South Africa. Hello. Hello, Suzanne Lucero O'Brien. Welcome. And welcome those of you who are watching the replay and those of you who are choosing to remain as my invisible friends. You get to be part of this broadcast, but I don't get to see you. Y hola, mi primo, Polión Quintero. I know, bienvenido. Me encanta que estés aquí. La semana pasada creo que te mencioné, pero no sé si estabas para el final de la transmisión. Well, welcome everybody. And let's go through a few announcements before we go straight into today's topic. Okay. This coming weekend, finally, the next online weekend seminar, Opening the Heart, is taking place. Okay, this is June 4th to the 5th. It's an invitation to release past hurts, energies, and emotional traumas that are keeping you from experiencing the love that your heart is truly longing for. Okay, this is done online. And I think there was a question here from Yair. He wanted to... How did the question go? Want to know about the upcoming seminar. How many hours are dedicated for meditation each day? Okay, so it's not a meditation workshop. That's the first thing that I need to address. It's a hands-on emotional healing workshop, okay, where we meet, we have two 3-hour sessions and one 4-hour session. Okay, so we start on Saturday at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Meet for 3 hours. During the first 3 hours, we basically cover the fundamental principles and talk a little bit about the theory, but then the rest of our time together, we go straight into the experiential work. And the second session, we take an hour break for lunch. The second session is at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It goes from 2 to 5, and then we meet again on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. So that's why the Sunday session is a little bit longer. During that time, what do? Well, we do group process. We do a new technique I developed over the past few years called heart tapping. It uses the power of emotional freedom technique, the emotion code, access consciousness, power statements, and the power of intention to release and let go of old emotional blocks. Okay, so do a lot of that. Obviously, we do, of course, heart center meditation, cover all the basic tools and practices for the journey. Okay, so again, this is happening this coming weekend, June 4th to the 5th, and it's online. There's still spaces available if you'd like to join us, and you can register at my website, gabrielgonzalez.com, if you go to where it says upcoming events or upcoming schedule. For those of you who are interested in an intimate 12-day pilgrimage from Fatima to Santiago this coming September, there's still spaces available for the 2022 Pilgrimage of the Heart. Okay, we began in this beautiful city of Fatima. We spent the whole weekend together visiting the shrine and the different historical sites, obviously praying also the rosary with everybody participating in the procession. And then we embark on this incredible, 7-day walking adventure through the north of Galicia, just crossing over the Portuguese border into Spain in the town of Valencia and Tui, and then traveling through the coast through what it's known, the spiritual variants of the Camino de Santiago Portuguese or Portuguese. Okay, all to arrive then in the beautiful city of Santiago de Compostela, where we were just this past weekend. That is where the relics of the Apostle St. James are buried. So if you're interested in participating in this journey, as I just said, there's still spaces available, and you can learn more about it in the by visiting my website, the same place. But if you go to the upcoming events, there you will find a 1 hour long recording. I did an info Q&A call last month where I answered a lot of most people's questions. Okay, and then you can learn about the process of to apply if you'd like to participate. And then finally, registration is now open for the next Heart Leader Training Program that begins on Thursday, September 29th, just a few days after coming back from the Pilgrimage of the Heart. Okay, this is my 9-month signature certified training program in heart intelligence coaching and heart leadership, where what we do is we master what I call the 9 skills of heart leadership. A couple of people here that I know, Mary, Rinaldi, Mariette, have been through these programs, and I know that their lives have been deeply transformed. All right, so more information about this, again, by visiting my website. What is Bonbon? Welcome, Bonbon. Hello, everyone. She said, I caught another live. Yeah, great. Nice that you could be here with us today, Bonbon. Hello to all, says Deborah. Polion, my cousin in Venezuela, he's laughing. Sí, primo, me encanta que estés aquí. Espero que hables inglés y que puedas entender un poco lo que estoy aquí machucando. All right, so let's dive right into today's topic, which again, as I mentioned earlier, is on the topic of integrity. And just a few words about how this topic came about. Last month, or in the month of May, as we were exploring this topic of the divine feminine, I had a very powerful conversation with my coach one day that really kicked my ass. It really sent me into a space I had not been for quite a while. When he invited me to do what he called at the time an integrity audit. Okay, you may be wondering, what the hell is that? What's an integrity audit? Did the IRS come to visit you? No, nothing like that. Think of it as a personal integrity audit, an opportunity to actually stop the car of your daily life and really just assess where are you in life, and specifically, what it is that you're doing that is keeping you from having what you want or goes against what you've decided that you wanted to be, you wanted to do, you wanted to have. One of the things I do with all my clients and with all my students as we begin this journey of either through the Heart Warrior training program or the Heart Leader training program is we go into exploring the depth of our own hearts, our deepest motivations in life, our core values, our life purpose, our heart's true desires. And then from there, we build a vision. We go into the process of building a vision for our lives. And we normally look at these 4 key areas of life, the 4 pillars of life. The area of health and wellness, career and success, love and relationships, and spirituality and purpose. And then from there, we begin to build a very clear, specific vision declaration statement that is pretty much a statement of choice with regards to what it is that you're choosing to be, to do, to have in those areas of life. Now, some of you may be aware of what is the ultimate reality about the process of manifestation or emerging or becoming more that which we seek to be. And that is that the process is more about letting go than it is about acquisition. So think in terms of when David was sculpted, beautiful sculpture of David. Right? The process was really not of trying to bring David out. David was already in there, but removing and releasing everything that was not David. So within each and every one of us also, there are certain blocks, there are addictions, there are self-defeating behaviors, there are competing commitments, there are all kinds of unconscious beliefs, attitudes, self-sabotage behaviors, that this is what's keeping us from being the person that we know in our hearts we came here to be. And so the process, for the most part, once you got very clear what it is that you want, the process is, yes, of course, we have to acquire certain new skills, but for the most part, is about letting go what is not in alignment with that. I found in my life to be true that once I let go of the blocks to love, love just happens naturally. Once I let go of my blocks to, for example, with regards to money, then money just flows. Once I let go of my blocks of whatever it is, then the tendency, just like water, once you remove the blocks of the canal or the river, then the water just flows. Okay, so plain and simply, an integrity audit is just taking a really hard look at yourself and do an inventory of these 4 key areas of life and ask yourself, in what ways am I out of integrity with myself? This is what I call personal integrity. All right. In what ways are you saying you want something, but you're doing the opposite? Okay, you may, for example, want a partner, a romantic partner, and you've chosen and you have this beautiful vision board and you're telling everybody that you're in this process of manifesting this relationship. Yet, every time you look at yourself in the mirror, you say, oh my God, I'm so ugly, I'm so old, who's going to love me? Nobody will love me, nobody will like me, I don't deserve love. This is never going to happen. And then, therefore, you're basically what, like we say in Spanish, lo que una mano hace, la otra lo destruye, no? It basically means like what one hand is doing, the other hand is destroying it. In what ways are you doing something that is going against what you actually said you wanted? If you say, for example, or you made a decision that you want to lose weight and you want to get in shape and you want to get fit, but you have not brought your actions in alignment or in integrity with that which you want, well, that is something for you then to, kind of like be your own internal audit team, and then just look at all these different areas of life where you are in essence, operating out of integrity. Why do you want to be in integrity? Why is that so important? Well, because, as the title of today's broadcast, integrity represents the first level of empowerment. Until we reach the level of integrity in any area of our lives, the area or the level of self-responsibility, which is pretty much means the same thing, nothing much will happen. Now, what I want to do is I want to share with y'all a slide presentation that is part of the group of slides from the course on emotional self-mastery, one of the courses I teach through the Heart Leader Academy. And it's a simplification of Dr. David Hawkins' vibrational scale of emotions. Some of you here may or may not be aware of the work of Dr. David Hawkins, and he is one of those teachers that has had the biggest influence in my life and in my life work. And so he developed over many years of scientific research in the field of consciousness a logarithmic based scale of consciousness that has not only an emotional equivalent but also different equivalents with regards to the worldview, how we experience life, etc. And down at the bottom levels of this scale of consciousness, right here in the area where you see the yellow and the orange, you have what we would normally call our negative emotions. But I want you to think of these lower emotions as the emotions that vibrate very, 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 very low. And so what we're looking at in here then is, I'm kind of a little puzzled because for some reason the slide presentation that I chose, the numbers are wacky. They're missing. I don't know if that happened when I exported them, but the numbers here, they don't actually correspond with the actual scale, so I apologize for that. But nonetheless, the order in which the emotions are allocated, those are correct. Okay, so bear with me with those. Okay, so down at the lower levels, as I said, you have the emotions such as shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, and pride. And as long as we're operating down at these lower levels of emotions, as long as our vibration is down there, our typical worldview is, and our experience of life is from a place of victimhood and helplessness. We're angry at life, constantly blaming other people for what we think or believe they did to us. And that's when we begin to say things like, you made me feel this, you did this to me. And there's this sense of you are powerless, hopeless, and therefore, as a result, there is an increased need to control other people. And this ongoing feelings of I'm not okay, I need something or someone to complete me, right? And you're constantly looking for the solution outside of yourself, because obviously you're also placing the problem outside of yourself. No wonder you want to look for the solution outside of yourself. And as long as we continue to operate from these lower levels of consciousness, what we are going to end up doing or feeling is more and more and more frustrated, looking as someone may say, for love in all the wrong places. Now, the level of integrity, which is represented here in the green, where it says courage, right? Integrity and courage represents the willingness to tell the truth and to begin to take personal ownership. And this is the beginning of personal integrity. You know, when you think of personal integrity as like at arriving at your own personal truth and the place of empowerment, where you're willing to, for the very first time in your life, to embrace or admit, like, maybe if I'm just, I've been dating like 5 different people, and it looks like I just keep dating the same old person over and over again. Maybe they're not the problem. Maybe I am the problem. Okay, when you begin to see then that the source of your problem is something that you're either doing consciously or unconsciously, and you decide to, like, okay, well, I'm going to come home to myself. I'm going to start taking ownership of my life, of my well-being. Uh, that is the place where then the polarity, the negative polarity, switches and becomes positive, and we begin to move here into the area in this map of the blue, where there's neutrality, willingness, acceptance, and we even move into the area of reason. All right, just doing that, just moving into this place of personal integrity, personal ownership, that is the beginning of self-empowerment. Okay, now there's another level of empowerment, and that happens when we reach the level of love. Okay, it's not necessarily the topic of this discussion, yet at the same time, it's very important because many people just want to bypass integrity and get to love. But when that happens, you end up with love that is not real. Looks like love, sounds like love, maybe it smells like love, but it's not love, okay? It's not sustainable, all right? Think about it. Before you can really arrive at that experience of love, you have to be willing to move through a place of courage and integrity and take responsibility. And at the very beginning, it might not feel pleasant, but it will at least be integrous. And what I mean by that is, like, you may find yourself saying something like, well, may not like other people. It might not be the loving thing to say, but this is my truth. I don't love you. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't have the answers to life. All right. I just don't know. That's the place of integrity. When you're willing to admit, I don't know, and I'm willing to begin to start seeing things different, and I'm willing to open up to the possibility that I may have actually created this. It may be the result of some pattern, some trauma, etc. Now, the moment we, as I said, we begin to take responsibility for ourselves, our lives, our happiness, our well-being, right, the manifestations of our visions, our goals, our desires, etc., we begin to then, move into a greater place of possibilities. And the second level of empowerment, as I was saying a little while ago, is reached once we are at the level of love. Because at the level of love, something really magical happens. We move from the linearity of the mind, the rational thinking, into the heart. Again, at that moment, we begin to tune in and tap into the universal energies of not just love, but universal wisdom and the power and the energy that nurtures, cares for, and supports all of life. And that is the stage where then miracles begin to happen. Because in essence, we are aligning through our hearts with this vibrational level of love. Okay, but again, as I reminded you a little while ago, right, before we get to love, we have to move through integrity. We cannot bypass it. Okay, otherwise we end up, as I was saying a little while ago, we end up becoming a person that looks loving, that sounds loving, but there's still many things that have not been owned, acknowledged, and then it will result basically in a lot of the shadows being repressed. So we all start at the lower levels and we all move up together little by little. Okay, it's all part of, think of it as a curriculum for anybody that chooses to move into love. We have to move first into integrity. And that is what we are collectively, I believe, we're moving through right now. If you notice, in the past few years, there's an increasing more and more secrets, lies coming out to the surface, right? Never like before have we had all these secrets, all these things that were happening in the entertainment industry, all these things that were happening to with regards to human trafficking, all these things that were happening to the whole Me Too movement. Pretty much is an expression of moving together or globally into a greater stage of integrity, where more and more people are demanding the integrity of their political leaders. They're demanding the integrity of systems, and everything that is not standing upon integrity is pretty much falling apart. But it's because we are moving collectively into this stage of, into the era, so to speak, of integrity. But as I said a little while ago, integrity, like charity, begins at home and begins the moment that each and every one of us begins to take ownership and begins to be real, authentic, and begins to tell the truth, right? Our truth, and own that truth. There can be no empowerment without integrity. And that is my point that I'm trying to make. So let me ask you then, once again, in what areas of your life are you out of integrity or out of alignment with yourself? In what areas of your life are you saying one thing, that this is what you want, but you're doing completely the opposite? In one area, are you doing one thing with one hand and erasing it completely with the other? And so notice that at this moment, the invitation is not to actually release or surrender, to fix it or take any kind of action. You know, the audit is not the time yet for correction or implementation. The audit is just an opportunity to look at these different areas of your life and then just simply look at where are you out of alignment, just to begin to create the awareness. Because here's the thing, from a quantum perspective, the moment you begin to see or feel into the misalignment that you may have, at that moment, that same situation, that relationship, that issue, that problem, whatever, begins to change, begins to transform. Right? This is what is called the Heisenberg principle. The observer begins to change the behavior of the atom. And so the moment we begin to put our attention in an area of our lives, a situation that is out of integrity, at that moment, that same thing begins to change, begins to shift. We begin to pour our energy into that. So I want you to think of it as a metaphor of a beautiful garden. This is something that one of my clients, or rather one of my students in a class this morning, this is how she saw it. If you think of your life as a garden, right, and you have a very clear vision with regards to what you want this garden to look like, well, you know then that once you've decided, okay, I want the pine trees over there, and I want a bench here, and I want a little river here, and I want this there, then you're very clear how you want it to look. Then your job is to begin to look at that garden and see what needs to be trimmed, what's dead or died a long time ago that needs to be let go of, so that you can bring that garden to integrity or alignment with the vision that you have. So think of your life as this beautiful garden. What needs to go that has run its course? What person from the past are you still holding on to, hoping that they will then one day wake up and love you and realize just how beautiful and special you are, and you're still waiting for that to happen? And you know that's just not serving you. If they were meant to be with you, they would be with you already. Isn't it time to let them go? What else in your garden is dead beyond, it's like beyond repair that needs to be thrown away? What are some of the rocks in your garden that are keeping your beautiful trees from growing strong? What is it that you are doing, either consciously or unconsciously, that is blocking you or keeping you, distracting you from having what you want? And you realize that if you really do this exercise, if you really take a good look at yourself in the mirror, you realize that there are so many things that you've outgrown, have reached their pass by date or whatever it's called, and has to be released, has to be let go. Okay, remember again, for the most part, it's your journey of surrendering and letting go rather than acquisition. And so with that, as a little introduction for our today's guided meditation, I want to invite you to do this integrity audit. All right. Allow me to bring you into a heart center space where we can all get coherent together, unify our hearts with divinity, unify our hearts with each other, and create an amplified field of compassion where we can then ask our hearts what it is that is out of alignment in these 4 key areas of lives, and then listen. Some of you may not want to hear what your heart has to say, but nonetheless, remember what they say about the truth. The truth, it will set you free, but it will first piss you off. So chances are that what may come up is not what you want to hear. It's not what your human ego wants to hear, but it's certainly what your soul wants you to pay attention to. So with that, my beautiful friends, hello Kelly, welcome. Hello Leela, hello Amanda, welcome y'all. I'd like to invite you now to join me into the experiential part of this process today. The invitation now is to move into the second channel of the experiential as you gently close your eyes and give yourself permission to fully inhabit your body as you bring a hand over to the middle of the chest. And for the next few moments in silence, listen to your heartbeat. Paying attention also to your breath. Welcoming thoughts, feelings, sensations that may arise, but focusing on that gentle lub-dub in the middle of your chest. Now we begin to intentionally breathe into the heartbeat, directing the breath into the middle of the chest and inhaling nice and slow, deep and even, and exhaling out. Beginning to create a nice pattern of breath as you breathe into the heart and exhale out of the heart. With every breath in and out of the heart, you give yourself permission to release and let go of any unnecessary tension around the head, the neck, and the shoulders, the arms, the legs, the torso. Allowing this breath to be effortless. Now we activate the feeling of compassion. We do this by bringing into our mind's eye, to our memory, a time in our lives when we acted with compassion towards somebody else or someone acting with compassion towards us. Or we can do this by inviting the presence of a divine being that is the perfect expression of compassion. Feeling compassion. Activating this frequency of compassion. Noticing what compassion feels like in the heart. Compassion is the energy that says, I am here. I'm with you. You're not alone in your pain, in your suffering, in your confusion. It's going to be okay. I'm with you. For the next few moments, as you continue to breathe in and out of the heart, allow this feeling, this vibration of compassion to radiate from the heart to all the organs around it until you see yourself fully surrounded by a sphere of compassion. And as you do this, allow me to speak the following prayer on your behalf. In the name of my beloved I Am Presence and my Holy Christ Self, in the name of the I Am Presence and Holy Christ Self of everyone here today, and speaking on their behalf, I unify my heart to the infinitely loving heart of God, knowing that where God is, I am. Realizing I am one with the heart of God. The heart of God lives in me, and I live in the heart of God, for together they're unified and combined into one, that I may say, I am one with God. I and the Father are one. I and the Mother are one. I am one with the heart of God. With each breath in and out of my heart, I energize my heart with the energy of compassion that emanates from the source. Giving myself permission to rise into the energy of integrity, the beginning of self-empowerment. Knowing that I align with the integrity that is the integrity of God the moment I begin to speak my truth, acknowledge my truth, and claim my personal truth. Embracing that in God I am one with the creation. That I am the creator of my experience. That's what it means to be the I am within me. I therefore then choose to take full and complete ownership, not only for my life's direction, but also for my decisions, for my choices, and for my actions. Taking full responsibility for my current life experience and seeing it as not just part of my learning, but as my creation. With a full and complete awareness that the energy that created my current life conditions can also uncreate it through the power of integrity. I therefore choose to now, in the name I am that I am, to come into greater integrity with who I really am, with God's vision for my life, and with a greater purpose for which I am here today. Choosing to open now my inner ear, my inner eyes, to listen to the still small voice within my heart, which is the voice of God within me, that I may be guided and directed. And so therefore I ask my heart, my connecting point to the heart of God, my heart, in what areas of my life, situations, relationships, am I out of integrity? My heart, will you please show me and reveal to me those areas where I am out of alignment with myself, where I'm playing too small, where I'm settling for less, where I'm not living up to my highest potential. As we ask these questions, your job is just to now receive the messages from the still small voice within you. Being open, available, and receptive to what shows up. Judging nothing that you receive, simply listening and welcoming the messages from your heart. My heart, what is it that I need to let go or release from my life that I may come into greater integrity with myself and the person I've decided to be? What must I let go of, change, or do differently? My heart, what is it I need to do, either today or over the next few days, to come into greater alignment with who I really am, to be in greater integrity with myself and the vision that I have chosen for my life? heart, is there anything else that you'd like to reveal to me that will help me on this journey towards greater integrity with myself? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I am thy kingdom come. I am thy will being done. I am on earth, even as I am also in heaven. I am giving this day daily bread to all. I am forgiving all life, even as I am also all of life forgiven me. I am keeping all men from temptation. I am delivering all men from every evil condition. I am the kingdom. I am the power. I am the glory of God in eternal and mortal manifestation. Fully life, fully joyful in the heart of everyone present here today, revealing the truth that sets us free, bringing us the peace that surpasses all understanding, raising our vibrational frequency, that we may together create an expanded field of compassion and harmony that helps raise the vibrational frequency of this planet. For all the messages from the heart received, I am infinitely grateful and thankful for the opportunity to come together here week after week and unifying our hearts in God in one love. I am infinitely grateful to every person here who continuously shows up for their own evolution and the evolution of the planet. I give thanks and I let it be. And so it is, and it is so. Amen. Gently we initiate now the full return of our awareness to this physical reality that surrounds us. Setting the intention to bring this sensation and feeling of ease and calm into our next activity. Knowing that the energies of compassion are always available to us. Remembering that this connection we feel with our hearts is real, and that our heart is that connecting point to the heart of Jesus Christ, our Savior, to the heart of Mother Mary, the heart of Kuan Yin, the lotus flower, the jewel in the heart of the lotus flower, the heart of divinity itself, and every sacred heart of every spiritual master and teacher who has showed the pathway towards God through love and through the heart. Gently, we open our eyes, going back once again. Feeling wonderful, replenished, restored, greater alignment and integrity with ourselves. Hello, Kelly. Thanks for being here. Kelly says, wow, that was beautiful, powerful. Thank you. You're welcome, Kelly. Glad you could be here with us today. You too, Brother Gabriel, Christoph Gabriel. Luisa, hello. Thanks for being here. All right. I love it if you could just share a word or two about how you're feeling right now after this guided process. I tell you, there's so many times when I facilitate these guided meditations or these processes that I just want to stay in that space. I do. I feel like I just want to drop in and like 2 hours later open my eyes and go like, are you guys still there? Unfortunately, time is a bit of the essence. Mary says lots of tears. Kelly says tears in the beginning, now peace and expansiveness. Yeah, great. All right, so I want to remind you once again in closing that this coming weekend, the next online weekend seminar, Opening the Heart, is taking place. An opportunity to release past hurts, emotional energies and traumas that are keeping you from opening yourself to greater love. Okay, this is happening June 4th through the 5th online. Also, for those of you who are interested in walking the Camino de Santiago with me, registration is now open for the second Pilgrimage of the Heart, 12-day journey from the heart of Fatima to Santiago de Compostela. That will take place September 9th through the 20th. Also, on September 29th is the beginning of the next Heart Leader training program, my yearly certificate training program in heart intelligence coaching and heart leadership. There's still spaces if you'd like to join. And again, you can register for those events or read more about them by visiting my website, GabrielGonzalez.com. Mariette says she's feeling peaceful. Cindy's heart says, I'm feeling acceptance, willingness, and grace. It's lovely. Leila says, that was so powerful and energetic. Thank you so much for this guided meditation. God bless you all. You're welcome. Danny says, serenity. You're welcome, Kelly. All right, my beautiful friends. Remember, this is Integrity Audit Month, so we're going to continue to unpack and talk more about integrity and do some more guided processes within these meditations to help you uncover more and more and more and more the greater truth within your own heart so that you can live more and more and more in greater alignment or integrity with that truth. Thank you for lending me your ears, for lending me your hearts. And if any of you have any questions about any of the upcoming events, please feel free to go to my website and go where it says contact and then just send me a message. All right. I'm always happy to jump on the on a Zoom call and just have a quick chat with you where I can help answer any questions and also help you decide if that program that you're interested in is the right program for you. Okay. All right, my beautiful friends, have a wonderful rest of the week. Please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my Venezuelan heart to yours. Bye-bye for now. Ciao.
Thank you for joining me in this week's Heartstream. I hope you're walking away feeling more connected to yourself and your divinity, to the planet, to others, and to all of life. Please be sure to subscribe so that you can receive notifications about upcoming broadcasts. And if you would like to sign up for my weekly newsletter, join the Heart Leader community, or register for my upcoming trainings and seminars, be sure to visit my website, GabrielGonzalez.com. Until the next time, please take care of yourself so that you can take care of others. And as always, I send you all my love from my heart to yours. Bye for now.